Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. Right, before I go any further, I want to say the biggest heartfelt thank you to everybody that has sent me messages of love and support this week. As you pretty much all know by now, my mum passed away early hours of Monday morning. She'd been ill for quite a while. She was 85. She'd been ill for a while, on and off. It didn't come as much of a surprise, but obviously it was still a shock. Um, and I deliberated for a couple of days as to whether to put something on Facebook about it. So I basically waited until the rest of the family had done all theirs, and then I put the message on the group, because most of my friends are actually on the group rather than putting it on the personal profile. I will at some point be removing the post altogether. Um, yeah, I'm not sure. I don't think it's really appropriate to leave it up there for too long. It's been up there. Everybody has responded. I've had over 100 messages. My God, you guys have been so lovely. You really have. And work have been amazing as well. They've accommodated me with short hours and all that sort of thing. They've been absolutely amazing. Um, so yeah, it's been a difficult week, but I think I'm finally coming through the other side of it now. And I thought it might be an idea. The dog's going to go off on one in a minute because somebody has just knocked on the door next door. Here we go. No, her ears have gone up. You're not going to do it, are you? Good girl. Oh God, where was I? Yeah, as I say, it's been a difficult week. Um, it's got that little bit easier every day, but I think finally now I'm starting to come through the other side of it. So I thought, even though I'd put a message out there saying that Tony Time will be on hold for probably a couple of weeks, my mum would not have wanted me to sit around moping and being fed up. She really wouldn't. She'd have wanted me to carry on. And I thought that this was probably the best way to do it, or to at least start doing it. So as I say, once again, thank you so much to each and every one of you that have messaged me this week. Um, the outpouring of love and support has just been amazing. It really has. And everybody's been there. Everybody's pretty much said, if you need anything at all, let me know. But as I say, I think I'm going to be okay. See how we go. So that being said, I was chatting to a colleague this morning, Ashley. Morning, Ash. And she said, mix it up a bit. Do something. Mix it up a bit. She says, do something different. Do your favourite snacks that you like to eat while watching movies. I'd never even thought of that. So I'm going to do that right now, just to save Ashley sitting through this whole shooting match. I'll do the favourite snacks now. First one, you'll notice something in common with all of these. Obviously, popcorn. You can't have a movie without popcorn. I always used to have popcorn in the cinema when I used to go. It was the first thing I used to get after I picked my ticket up. Popcorn and a Coke. So that was the first one, obvious. Second one, I discovered these. I've not tried them yet, but they look amazing. They're called dirty fries. Don't know why they're called dirty fries, but they are. But apparently crunchy potato snacks with a spiced cheese seasoning. Now they sound amazing. Time will tell. I've not tried them yet, but they look nice. I thought I'd give them a go. Another one, going slightly left field with this one. I loved these when I used to go out for Chinese meals. And I still love them on their own. I do occasionally like the odd bag of prawn crackers. I know it's odd. I do have them with Chinese meals. Sometimes we have sort of chicken tonight, and in a mushroom sauce. I usually have these with it. With a Chinese meal, these are absolutely superb. But I do occasionally like a bag of these with a film. Obviously, pizzas. These were on offer. I've never tried pepperoni before. I've got a funny feeling I'm not going to like it, but I'll give them a go. I might even have these in there for about half an hour or so. That's pizzas. And then if we're talking sweets, I do love bags of Maltesers. I can polish off a bag of these in one sitting, pretty much. This is one. More to share, it says. No, it isn't more to share, it's more for me. Cakes. I've just discovered these in the co-op and they're absolutely gorgeous. They're called Pop Dots. They're like sponge cake with a chocolate filling, a chocolate covering, hazelnuts sprinkled all over the top of them. Really, really nice. They're deadly, I tell you. And I love these, but they don't do my teeth any good. I do like the odd bag of jelly babies. I love my jelly babies. And to wash them down with, obviously you've got to have Pepsi Max. Got to. And obviously if you're looking for something healthy, I do like an orange every now and then. Because obviously one orange will cancel out all of that, all the bad stuff that I've just eaten. If I ate that lot in one go, that will set everything right. So there you go, Ash. There are my snacks of choice as far as what I eat while watching movies goes. Hope you enjoyed that. Right, comments on the last video. I've decided to start trimming them down a bit. Sort of editing them slightly and this, that and the other. For no other reason than just to make it a little bit simpler for me to read on here, for one thing. So Steve Mack, we were talking about In the Heat of the Night, and I mistakenly said something about Sterling Siliphant. I think it was something to do with him composing the soundtrack, the music for the soundtrack, the score. That's the word, the score. And I got it wrong. Sterling Siliphant is actually a screenplay writer, and if I'd have looked a little bit more into it before opening my trap, I'd have realised that. So, as you put, Sterling Siliphant wrote the screenplay. The score for In the Heat of the Night was composed by the brilliant Quincy Jones. He scored this and the sequel. Yeah, I mean, I know that now because I've actually watched the movie, and I'll be coming back to that in a bit. Sterling Siliphant, I don't know where I got that name from. I know I've seen his name on the back of the soundtrack, the vinyl soundtrack I've got for the movie The Swarm, the Owen Allen Killer Bee disaster movie. And for some stupid reason, I automatically assumed that he was something to do with the soundtrack. I now know, obviously, that was Jerry Goldsmith. And Sterling Siliphant actually wrote the screenplay for The Swarm, adapted from the book. So one of my New Year's resolutions, I don't normally make them, is to actually start looking into facts and actually getting me facts right on things like this. But then again, I suppose it's part of my charm, isn't it? Getting things wrong. So where are we? Just watched a nice new British film, Scrapper. I've heard all about Scrapper. This is Harris Dickinson, the father, turning up to meet his daughter, who's basically living alone on a council estate after being abandoned by his parents, something like that. It's definitely one that I want to watch. Kermode loved it. Every review that I've heard on various podcasts have all enjoyed Scrapper. It's streaming on BFI, so I will be taking a look at that one at some point soon, but it sounds amazing. Harris Dickinson's good anyway. I've seen a couple of his movies, but I can't remember what they are. I've seen a couple of them. I think one was called Postcards from London. Enjoyed that one. Tony, you said, you said, a pleasure watching you as always. Thanks, Steve. Much appreciated. Tony, The Abyss is a Disney 4K, so it should be region free. It's still to be determined whether they'll lock the Blu-ray region, as they don't do it on all their releases. Why do we still have to have region lock? It winds me up. I would be importing movies from the States all the time if it weren't for region locking. I've been bitten twice by it. I've ordered 2 movies in the last few years on Blu-ray, thinking that they'd be region free, and they've turned up, and obviously I can't do anything with them because the player won't play them. Ended up selling them on Amazon. So region locking just gets on my nerves. And why do we have to have region locking on just the Blu-ray? The 4K is fine, that will play on anything. But obviously all the extras, the bonus features, are all on the Blu-ray. Now I don't watch the bonus features very often, I've got to confess, but it's always nice knowing they're there. If you watch the movie and think, I would love to watch how that was made. And obviously, if you imported the thing from the US, you got no bleeding chance. So thanks for that, Steve. Much appreciated. Jason K, our Ginger Ninja. This got me through an extremely boring Saturday afternoon working. Thanks. You're more than welcome, Jason. If I've helped make a boring day at work a little bit more bearable, then I'm happy with that. And you put, also, I actually have Dead Hooker in a trunk. I'll post it in the group. Another great vid, mate. Much appreciated, Chase. Dead Hooker in a trunk. Jason reviewed a movie called Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers. And I happened to mention that I'd heard of a movie called Dead Hooker in a Trunk. And I'd always meant to have a look at it purely because the title is so unusual. Straight off, I should have realised he would have it. This is him to a T, isn't it, Jace? So I'm not surprised that you have a copy of that. Now, I've actually found it as well. It's streaming on Shudder, believe it or not, which I subscribe to. So I will be taking a look at it. But I've watched the trailer. It looks insane, absolutely mental. Some of the violence in it looks horrendous. So I don't know how far I'm going to get with it. But I've been promising to take a look at this film for months, years. So I will have a look at it. And it would make a very, very good double feature alongside Hollywood Chainsaw Hookers, which, as I say, you reviewed, and I'm very, very intrigued about. So maybe a double feature of that one Saturday afternoon. So thanks for that, Jace. Lee Barber, how's your leg, mate? Is it healing? He broke his leg, bless him. So I mentioned Scum because you were on about British films that we forget about. Yes, we were on about forgotten British movies. Scum is a lot of things, but Forgettable is definitely not one of them. It was shocking stuff back in 1979. And I'm fairly sure that when I get to take a look at the Blu-ray that I've now got upstairs, I think it's an indicator release. It's jam-packed full of sort of extras and all that sort of thing, and I've been meaning to watch it for ages. I'm fairly sure that when I do get to watch it, it will have lost none of its power. I'm fairly certain of that. It's just one of those movies. I'm going to watch it, and some of the language in it is going to be shocking now, without a doubt. And the violence is just it's a horrible, nasty film, but it's powerful as hell. I didn't see the TV version, the play that it was adapted from until probably a couple of years ago. And watching it, I can see why the BBC banned it. I can very much see why the BBC banned it. But I can also see why the filmmakers basically jumped on it and said, well, if you don't want it, we'll have it. And we will turn it into something really fucking nasty. And they did that. So yeah, Scum, a lot of things. Forgettable, it ain't one of them. So thanks for that, Lee. Guy, lovely stuff, mate. Sleepy Tony, cute. This is to do with me taking night owls and washing them down with sleepy teas. As I say, once I've done that, within an hour, I'm sort of doing this. So I certainly wouldn't do it before doing one of these, that's for sure. So, cute or not. So, can I ask, why didn't you watch Miami Vice? Not taking the piss, genuine inquiry. It's just one I never got round to, and I don't know why. I love cop shows, love them. Favourite is Starsky and Hutch, as you know. I used to love all the others: Cannon, Ironside, Macmillan and Wife. What was the cowboy? Dennis Weaver, McLeod. Yeah, cowboy. There were loads of them. Another one I didn't see and I wanted to see, and I still want to see it now, is Cagney and Lacey. I had a mate who was heavily into that one. Never ever watched an episode of it, but I just love the buddy cop formula. It works so well. Charlie's Angels, no, it's not really cops, is it? That's more sort of female superhero type thing, isn't it? But I don't know why I never watched Miami Vice. What I would love to do is perhaps grab hold of one episode and have a look and see what I think. It probably just didn't appeal to me at the time, and I don't know why, but it just didn't. I did love the theme. Is it Crockett's theme by Jan Hammer? Loved that. So that really should have turned me onto it, but it didn't. As for the, I mean, what have we got here? We've got some comments on that here somewhere. Oh, we have. We'll come. Yeah, Jason, you said I'd never watched You said you'd never watched Miami Vice either, but you weren't sure why. And Mark, you said that you'd seen the Miami Vice film, but it was shit. So that was Colin Farrell, wasn't it? These sort of film versions of TV series, they hardly ever work. They used to be good in the 70s when they used to do like the sitcoms. They used to turn those into comedy movies like On the Buses, Steptoe and Son, Love Thy Neighbour, Are You Being Served, all that lot. They worked really well. And I believe they even did a movie version of Callan, the Edward Woodward TV series. I believe that was around about 1974. Never seen it, but it got quite good reviews when it first came out, and it's been on TV quite a few times. But for some reason, these movie versions of cop series, they never seem to work for me. The only two I've ever really enjoyed are Starsky and Hutch, which I thought was brilliant, and Charlie's Angels, which I loved. But neither of those took themselves seriously. They were more comedies than action. So, in answer to your question, mate, I don't know, but I will track down an episode, probably the first one, and have a look and see what I think. There are some box sets on Amazon. I believe there's a box set of all 5 series for about, I think it's about 40 or 50 quid. But there's a box set of season 1 for 7. So whether I just want to get season 1, because I've heard it goes downhill after season 1. You probably won't agree with that, but I've seen quite a few people on the IMDb and various other sites who've said that after season 1 it goes downhill. So advice on that one. Do I just get season 1, or do I invest in that huge box set, which is I think it's about 19 discs, and taking the whole series? Let me know on that one. So thanks for that, Guy. Oh, there's some more here. Hang on. Can we have an update on your progress on the audio book of It, please? The Stephen King book. I've got about 12 hours left to get through on that one. It was 44 hours. It is an absolute behemoth of a book, but it is brilliant, and it is beautifully read by the guy that narrates it. It's more like a performance than a reading. It is really, really good. I'm getting through probably 15-20 minutes a week, which isn't, it doesn't sound much, but I will get there eventually. I need to get it finished because I need to watch the 2 movie versions. I've seen, obviously, the one from the 90s, which I love, absolutely love. I've seen that quite a few times, but I've not seen the remakes, which I believe are It Part 1 and It Part 2, from probably 3-4 years ago. I'm waiting till I finish the book till I take those in, and then obviously we've got the Pennywise Origin series coming either later this year or possibly next year, and I definitely need to get all of that watched before watching that, because I'm really, really looking forward to that. That's going to be amazing. So thanks for that, Guy. We've got more here. More subscription channels. I can't afford any more, so you're a lucky man. The thing is, I don't go anywhere. I don't really do anything. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I think the only vice I've got left is food and telly, and movies. So I don't really feel remotely guilty about having all these subscription channels. I know I could get them all on probably Dodgy Stick and all that sort of thing, but it's always handy knowing that they're there. And there will come a time, especially now, obviously with my mum gone, I don't have to go up there every day. So I've got 3 hours a day that I've got to fill. And that is my chance now to start seriously getting some movies watched, if nothing else. Obviously I've got to get my health sorted out as well, because the one thing she would have wanted is for me to get myself sorted out health wise and this, that and the other. So oh God, what was I saying? What was I on about? I've gone off on a tangent, haven't I? Oh, subscription channels, yeah. So it's always handy to know that I've got these subscription channels, and as I said last week, I've got another 2 or 3 that I want to go for. Mubi, which is independent stuff like the BFI, also Curzon, which is a similar sort of thing, and possibly Apple TV. I need to have a look to find out what's actually on there. But I've heard really good things about Apple TV. But once I've got those three, I don't think there are any more that I'm going to bother with. I'm not bothered about MGM or anything like that. Those titles turn up on Prime sooner or later anyway. So, yeah, I don't feel guilty about having all these subscription channels. I've got, I think it's 4 at the moment. Shudder, BFI, Paramount Plus, Prime, and Netflix. That's 5. So I'll have 8 by the time I've got these other 3. But I've not done it yet. I've got to get into a routine where I'm actually watching what is on these channels before I start investing in any more. As soon as that happens, then I will be getting Movie Curzon and the other one. What was the other one? Movie Curzon and forgotten it already. That is so shit. What else have I got here? You ask, is there anything Tom Cruise can't do? I did ask that, yeah. A healthy relationship. I mean, he's been with, let's see, there was it Mimi Rogers, Nicole Kidman? I can't remember any of the others, but is it a Scientology thing? I don't know, maybe. So, bring back Usherettes. Yes, absolutely. I mean, I don't go cinema anymore, but it's on the cards at some point, as I will come back to very shortly. Usherettes were part of the cinema experience. They used to come down the centre aisle with their tray strapped round the neck, and you used to be able to get sort of ice creams, chocolate bars, Coke. I think the only thing they didn't do there was sort of hot dogs and hot meals and stuff like that. But it was part of the cinema experience, and it was. I didn't used to get stuff from the Usherettes all the time, but I certainly probably once a week would have, you know, a tub of ice cream or something like that. Bags of nuts, they used to do those on there. Yeah, so bring back the Usherettes. Do they not have them anymore then? I'm trying to remember whether they had them the last time I went. It was so long ago. I don't think they did. They just sort of phased them out, and I don't know why. But yeah, bring back the Usherettes. Let's start a campaign. Mark, I was asking about Napoleon, and you said it was great. Napoleon was great. Plenty of battle scenes, not boring at all, unlike Oppenheimer. Oppenheimer. I don't know, I've caught for some flack from you lot, haven't it? I will be taking a look at it. I'm off work, not next week, the week after, so there's a very good chance I will dedicate a morning to watching Oppenheimer. Rob won't watch it, it's too long, and I get the feeling it will be too boring for him. So he falls firmly into your camp on that one. But I definitely want to have a look at it, especially seeing as he took the trouble to buy it for me for Christmas. Be a bit ungrateful to say, well, everybody's saying it's shit, so I'm not going to watch it. So I will be taking that in. But I'm glad to hear Napoleon was all right. I believe that's landing on Apple TV very shortly, isn't it? So there's another good reason to maybe invest in that. So thanks for that, Mark. Chris, Phantasm Ball vid. Watch this space. I really look forward to it. What it was, we were talking about the Phantasm box set, and there is one that is encased in one of the spheres with the blades. It's difficult to explain. Chris, we need this vid. We do. I'm sure if I looked on YouTube, somebody else has already done one, but we want to see yours. We want to see yours. So, yeah, when you get a minute, mate. Fool Me Once was great. Not a bad episode made. It definitely was one that kept your mind working, and I didn't guess the outcome at all. Highly enjoyable. Absolutely brilliant. Harlan Coben has got a habit of making really watchable, twisty, turny thriller dramas, and this, I think it's breaking records on this side and that side of the Atlantic for the amount of viewers that it's getting. It was just brilliant. Joanna Lumley, love Joanna Lumley. Michelle Keegan, just amazing. I mean, if you're looking for something that's not overly complicated but keeps you guessing right to the end, and like you, Chris, I did not see the final scene coming. I really didn't. It was just so beautifully, cleverly done. I was talking to Dave Lowe about this at work, and I think he said, or was I talking to, he posted a comment, I can't remember, basically said that it was okay up until the last 20 minutes. I think it was the last 20 minutes that made it. I was desperately hoping that I wasn't going to be disappointed by it, because a lot of these things, you'll go through sort of 8 or 9 episodes, you're all sort of revved up for the last one, and then all of a sudden it's just a damp squib, and it's like, Oh God, is that it? Oh, okay. But this one absolutely did not disappoint. So if you've not seen Fool Me Once, it's screening on Netflix, or it's streaming on Netflix, I should say. So yeah, definitely recommended, 100% recommended. Um, I will get round to Oppenheimer. I like making my own mind up about movies, but the runtime is keeping me from pressing play at the minute. Yeah, it's pretty much the same with me. It's not a movie that I want to watch in two sections or three sections or anything like that. If I'm going to watch it, I want to watch it all the way through in one go. Um, Maybe with a quick intermission for a cup or halfway, but that's about it. But yeah, that's the only thing that's stopping me from banging it on right now. But I will be watching that within the next couple of weeks, that's for sure. Let's see. Glad you're enjoying the Marvel journey. It's been ages since I've watched any, so enjoying it muchly so far. Thank you for the morning vid, as always, sir. You are more than welcome, Chris. Yeah, I'm enjoying your Marvel journey, definitely. I will be recommencing mine anytime now. I've got as far as Thor. I think that was the last one. That was the one that I was basically coming on to. I've skipped ahead and watched the Spider-Man movies because I've been dying to see them for ages. I've got through the Tobey Maguire trilogy. I'm just coming on to the Andrew Garfield double. I think he did two films, and then we got the Tom Holland trilogy, which I shall be coming on to. I bought them all on Blu-ray because I'm fairly sure I'm going to want to keep them. So yes, I will be recommencing that at some point. So you keep your vids coming as well, Chris, because I'm loving them. So right, I'm going to take a very quick break. I'll be back in a few seconds. And we're back. Right, I've got somebody here who wants her 15 minutes of fame. I'm quickly going to turn the camera around, and this is my dog Maya. Bear with me, just bear with me while I just get her on. There she is. You alright, Maya? Her ears have gone up. I hope she's ready for a close up. Oh, bless her. Say hello, Maya. Mm. Hello. That's it. That's all you're getting. Oh, God. Right, where were we? Oh, no, she wants more. Oh, God, she's coming back for more. No, no, sit down. Calm down. Go on, sit down. Bless her. Oh, God, here we go. She wants to go on again. Look. Hello. Oh, God. That's it. That's your lot. Go on, sit down. Right. Oh, just to set the record straight, very, very quickly, I did say in the first half that work had granted me sort of short hours for this week. I'm sure you're all sitting there thinking, what kind of a company does he work for? Did they not send him home? And yes, they did. They wanted to send me home and take the rest of the week off. But me, being me, I need to keep busy. So I've been going in for 2-3 hours in the morning, just doing a few bits and then coming home, which I'm doing till tomorrow. So they've been, as I say, absolutely amazing. They really have. They've accommodated me in every way that they possibly can. So they've been superb. I didn't want you thinking that, as I say, what kind of a company does he work for? I work for a very good company, as it goes. So yeah, they've been amazing. Right, where were we? Let's see. Jason P. Reacher is nothing like John Wick. I probably said something last week along the lines of that the reason I've not watched Reacher is because it looks a bit like John Wick, and that's not my kind of thing. But apparently it's not. So I will maybe take a look at it, as another colleague of mine this morning recommended it. So I'll have to have a look at that. Oh yeah, great vid, mate. Thanks, Jace. I was going to buy True Lies on Blu-ray. You were talking about buying it, but you didn't want to get it if it's cut. I don't know whether it is actually cut. I'm just remembering something from the distant past that says that it had trouble with the censors when it was first released around about 1992. I can't remember why, but there is something in my mind that's telling me that it had problems with the BBFC, and I'm guessing those problems would still exist. Well, would still exist, but we shall see. You put, I'd rather have an intact DVD release, although that's probably cut, than an upscale Blu-ray release with cuts. probably why second-hand DVDs are more expensive than Blu-rays nowadays. Yeah, I mean, I will always go for the uncut version of any movie. I don't like, as you know, censorship of any kind. I just don't. I think we should all be allowed to make up our own minds what we're going to watch, and I don't need anybody up there telling me that I shouldn't find this funny or I should find this absolutely horrifying. I'll decide for myself. Thank you very much. So yeah, that's my views on that one. Let's see. Get your ass to Barton's Cinema for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I've told you 1,000 times. He's wagging his finger at me like that. I've told you 1,000 times. He says kids don't spend their money on cinema nowadays. If they want to watch a movie, they would stream it in their bedroom. Do you think a teenager would spend £13 to £15 on a ticket? Look how many spliffs and beer that'll get them. It's a sad state of affairs, isn't it? We never used to have. Well, I suppose we did have drugs years ago, but not. It wasn't a way of life the way that it is now. If I'd have wanted to take drugs when I was, at school or younger, I wouldn't even have known where to start. Who the hell would I go to? Where would I get them from? Nowadays, everybody seems to know somebody that can get them. I could probably walk into the warehouse now and say I need something, and somebody would say I'll get it for you. I just think it's a really sad state of affairs that you need. What is so bad about life nowadays that you need drugs and booze and all this sort of thing? Coming from a clean living person, so I'm probably quite boring like that. It's just not my scene. It never really has been, to be honest. Let's see. I've got 4 weeks of never seen in the bag now. I'm loving this never seen it thread that you're doing, Jay. So I really am. More coming up on that one later. Although there's nothing on next week that I've not seen or want to see, Schindler's List is on BBC Two. I've never seen it, but don't plan to either. Looking forward to a 3-hour vid from you next week then. Why? What have I done? Easily more enjoyable than Oppenheimer. Wow. Sitting and watching me for an hour and a half is more enjoyable than an Oscar-laden movie. Wow. Thanks, Jace. I really appreciate that. I think. You were talking about night owls as well. You tried those night owl things years ago when you started security work. You did 2 days, 2 nights, and then 4 off. What a shift! What a shift pattern! I couldn't do that. That'd fuck with my sleep pattern, something rotten. I'd need more than night owls and sleepy teas for that one. And I don't think the tablets helped at all. Try the sleep apps on your phone. Listen to rain coming down on your windows. They worked better than the tablets. I do actually use something like that at work, believe it or not. When I'm on break, I sit with a lady. We sort of chat for 15 minutes, and then I put my little earbuds in, and I've got this little 15-minute meditation. Now she thinks I'm sleeping as everybody does because I sit like that and I close my eyes. I'm not. I'm not actually fast. I can hear everything that's going on around me, but I don't take any notice of it. So yeah, I do love things like that. I've just got to be in the right environment to use them. Let's see. Yeah, I'm loving Never Seen It. The Graduate. Not a film I ever thought you would watch. I've never seen it. It has never entertained me before. I knew what it was about. I knew what music was in it, but I thought it would be dated. I found this film okay, actually. I love the 2 main songs in it too. And yes, I'd have done both too. I'm assuming you mean the mother and the daughter. Jason, honestly. Where are we? You'd have done both too. Yeah. I don't doubt that for a minute. I wouldn't watch it again, and now I can say I've seen this movie. It is one that I intend to take in. I'm going to be kind of following you on this journey. I've already watched In the Heat of the Night, which I'll be talking about later. I'm going to watch The Graduate very shortly. So I'm going to try and follow you on this journey. I've got to get hold of a copy of Sparrows Can't Sing. That was your first one. Did you say there were 4? Have I missed one? I must have missed one. But yeah, I'm going to follow you on this, especially now I've got more time to do it. The Graduate, for those of you that don't know, was made in 1967, directed by Mike Nichols, stars Dustin Hoffman and Margaret? And Bancroft. That was nearly my first fuck up. And the plot is very simple. I've got it here. I think you put this on, Jace. A disillusioned college graduate finds himself torn between his older lover and her daughter, the legendary Mrs. Robinson. Um, Everybody of a certain age has pretty much heard of Mrs. Robinson. This is one that I'm looking forward to watching. I might even bang it on a little bit, bang it on a little bit later on this afternoon and have a go at that one. So thanks for that, Jace. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to following you on this and seeing where it leads us. I look forward to seeing what the other ones are that you come up with. Maybe I could do something. Mind you, my never seen it would run into thousands. Yeah, we'll see. Scott, absolutely incredible video, Tony. Loved it, mate. Thanks, Scott. It was such a shame to hear about the passing of David Soul. I haven't actually seen Starsky and Hutch, but heard it's amazing. Definitely need to give it a watch. It is, without a doubt, the best American cop show that's ever been. It was just brilliant. As far as buddy cop shows go, it was just the finest example. It really was. It ran for about, I think it was 4 seasons. And I don't believe there was a bad episode in there. I need to dig them out. I've got them all upstairs. And I need to start watching them again because I just remember loving it so much. Also being a member of the Starsky and Hutch fan club, having the little magazines that they used to send out. They're only tiny. And my obviously my police badge, which I've still got upstairs. It's a little, like a replica of a police badge. I think it's got my name on it. Bear in mind, I'd have only been about 14 at the time. It's not like it was last week or something. But yeah, Starsky and Hutch, absolutely brilliant. Salem's Lot is absolutely incredible, though. Is it ever? I love it. Scary as fuck. Brilliant TV movie. Really enjoyed his music as well. So did I. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. Obviously, I think it was after the first or second season. Sort of reports were starting to emerge that David Soul was actually a musician as well as an actor. And he got quite a back catalogue of songs to his credit. I bought the first album, which I enjoyed. Then I bought the second album, which was called Playing to an Audience of One, and it is still, to this day, one of my favourite CDs of all time. I've got it on vinyl upstairs, a gatefold sleeve, and I've also got it on CD, and it is still, to this day, one of my favourite albums of all time. So yeah, he did some cracking music. I believe there was a third and a fourth album, which I didn't get, but I would really, really like to track down now. But yeah, Salem's Lot as well. Oh, wow. What can you say about Salem's Lot? Scary as hell. For a TV movie, I mean, the fact that it was directed by Tobe Hooper should have given us a clue. But then again, at 14, I wouldn't have heard of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, let alone seen it. But now, looking back on it, if I'd have seen the name Tobe Hooper, I'd have thought straight away, my God, we're in for something scary as fuck and really special here. And I wouldn't have been wrong. It's one that I need to watch again. There is another remake about to hit HBO Max sometime this year. It was due for release last year, but something went wrong. Nothing's been said about it, but something went wrong with that release, and it's been shelved up until now. I read on Facebook a couple of days ago that it's going to be hitting HBO Max this year. So will I take a look at it? Probably. There was a remake starring Rob Lowe, early 2000s, I believe. That was supposed to be quite good, but nothing will ever match the power of that original, and it won't. No matter what they've done with this one, all they'll have done is made it more violent, the horror more graphic, 1,000,001 jump scares. Why would you want to mess with something like that? But there's a very good chance I will have a look at it. There's a lot of enthusiasm out there for it, so I'd be daft not to take a look. So let's see. So thanks for that, Scott, much appreciated. Dave Oliver, Savage Zombies. Your reviews on Dark Harvest and Night Swim. Dark Harvest doesn't really sound like my kind of movie. I don't think you were a bit sort of nonplussed with it, but Night Swim, oh my God. There's absolutely no love for that one, is there? I get the feeling that I am going to be taking a look at that at some point. Um, and I also get the feeling that it's going to be one of those movies, I told you so kind of things. You know, don't say I didn't warn you. But I'll let you know. I will get a hold of Night Swim because I've been intrigued by um, the notion of a haunted swimming pool since I first heard about it. But you did not enjoy it one bit. You said it's an absolutely terrible movie. But you know me, I like to find things out for myself, so I'll let you know when I've actually had a look at that. Enjoying the horror news videos, by the way, they're cracking, really enjoying them. The last one you reported on David Gordon Green jumping ship on the Exorcist franchise that he kicked off with Exorcist Believer. Um, it's a shame because your review of Exorcist Believer went against pretty much everybody else. You said it was okay. I'm going to be watching it very shortly, so I'll let you know on that one. But I'm like you. If they've spent an extortionate amount of money getting the rights to the Exorcist franchise, they are not going to let it go. So there almost certainly, as you say, will be another instalment at some point, and in some form, but we shall see on that one. What else did you report on? 28 years later, coming soon. I've seen 28 days later. I don't think I've seen 28 weeks later. Um, but they've got the original team back together, Alex Garland and Danny Boyle. Um, so how can it not work? I will have to watch 28 Days Later and also the sequel before this comes out. As you say, I think this is probably a year or two down the line, but it has been greenlit, so they will be doing it. What else was there? The Blob remake. I can't wait for this. I love the original movie. Starred Steve McQueen in his very first starring role. Just an excellent 50s trashy sci-fi movie. It was remade in 1988 with, I believe, Kevin Dillon, who was Matt Dillon's brother, younger brother. And the practical effects in that were absolutely amazing. I remember going to see that at Burton Odeon and really, really loving it. I haven't seen it for decades. I would love to dig it out and take another look at it. But as for remaking it again, do you know what? Why not? With CGI, who knows what it's going to look like. But I would. That is one that I would almost definitely take a look at, even though I've seen the original, the first remake, and I believe there was one done in the 70s, Beware the Blob, which didn't do well at all. I've not seen that one, but we'll take it in at some point. But yeah, I'm up for a remake of the Blob for sure. Abigail, that trailer reaction, my God, that trailer looks amazing. I watched it. The vampire ballerina, what the fuck? I would definitely be up for that one. So yeah, I will be looking at that one when it comes out. It just looks, as you say, amazing and great fun. So yeah, thanks for that, Dave. Keep the videos coming, mate. Really enjoying them. Higgis, Hun, your geek is showing. Finally got round to watching your end of year review, which I thoroughly enjoyed, as I always do. You were talking about the new Transformers movie. Now, I've not seen a Transformers movie, and I'm not familiar with the series either. But you're obviously very passionate about it. Optimus Prime is being voiced by Chris Hemsworth. What's wrong with that? I don't get it. I've heard he's quite a good voice actor. He's done quite a few. But you're absolutely not happy about it. So I'm really curious to know why you're not happy about it. Is it because obviously it's one of those things that shouldn't be touched? I don't know. Let me know on that one. Let's see, The Boys, the series. I've only seen the first episode. Incredibly violent, but it was really good to watch. I did enjoy it. I just wondered where it was going. I never followed it through, and I should have done. This was about 6 months ago when I watched that, so this is another one that I need to have a look at. How are you doing with it, Callie? Because you've got all 3 seasons now, haven't you? I'm just wondering whether it's worth watching. And what's the dolphin scene all about? I get the feeling that's going to be something I'm not going to enjoy. I'm not a great fan of animals. Well, animals being... no, it's just not me. So, Guy, I think you were asked what was the favourite thing you did this year? And the answer was your wife. Classy as always. I'm sure Sandy's well flattered by that. Your favourite show this year is The Bear. It's on Disney Plus, isn't it? This is like Gordon Ramsay rammed up to about 11. I don't know. I'm not a massive fan of that kind of thing, even though I thoroughly enjoyed Boiling Point. I thought it was one of the cleverest movies I think I've seen in a while. So maybe The Bear is worth a go. Let me know on that one. Well, you obviously think it is because you love it. Callie, you were on about hating Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Yeah, I mean it's this superhero thing again, isn't it? I've heard the first Ant-Man is superb. The second one, not so. And the third one got really mixed reviews. Even though Michael Douglas, did he not save it? Because I believe he was in it. Guy, you were on about The Mandalorian season 3. Yet to see season 1 of that one. I do love my Star Wars, but I've not gone into any of these series. And as I said last time, with Disney Plus doing the whole Star Wars thing in what's the word? You know, when they put it all in order, timeline, timeline order. I would love to do that. Same with Star Trek. I would love to do that as well in timeline order. Starting with the original series and working my way right through. That would actually take a few years, I think, because obviously you've got the Next Generation, you've got Deep Space Nine, Voyager, Enterprise, there's loads of them. I would love to start from the beginning, though. I do love the original Star Trek. Other shows that you mentioned, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. I dare say I'm going to come across that one when I start going through the other Spider-Man movies. Are they actually part of that, or is this a separate entity type thing? If they are sort of related to the other Spider-Man movies, then I almost certainly will get those on Blu-ray or 4K. Gen V, that's another one you mentioned. That is the sequel to The Boys, or a prequel. So maybe when I've watched The Boys. Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny. I didn't know Tom Selleck nearly got cast as Indiana Jones. How's that one escaped me? Yeah, I appreciate you not spoiling too much on that one, because I haven't seen that yet. I've had it on 4K for Christmas, and we're just waiting basically for the right time to watch it all in one go. What else we got here? Star Trek Picard and Strange New Worlds. Again, I need to go back to the beginning and go through the whole of the Star Trek universe. I think I'd have to do it sort of 3 episodes a week to stand a chance of getting through it before I die, basically, because there's that many hundreds of them. Hellraiser 2022. This has got really, really good reviews. It's one that I'm definitely looking forward to having a look at some point. Callie, I think you really enjoyed it. Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Need to see 1 and 2 before I take that one on. The Long Shadow. This is the Yorkshire Ripper drama. This is one that's definitely on the watch list. And The Night Agent. I was talking about this to somebody this morning. Joe Raven, morning Joe. He was recommending this one to me. So this is one that I definitely need to take in. It's something to do with FBI agents, but I have no idea how it goes. So we'll see on that one. I love that Ultimate Guide to the Whoniverse, by the way. I have got something similar, but I will be investing in that one because I found it on Amazon and put it on my wish list. It looked amazing, and yes, I was jealous when you held that up. Callie, good to know you're feeling a bit more positive about life. It can be challenging sometimes, we know it can, and things don't always go as we would like them to go, but I'm just really pleased that you've come through the other side of all the unpleasantness that you were getting. You didn't deserve any of that. So really, really pleased that things are looking a little bit sunnier for you now, and keep trying to look on the bright side, because honestly, life's fab. It really is. I know that's an odd thing for me to say at the moment, but it is. Life's great. Just keep looking forward. Marvel fatigue. What a brilliant way to put it. You were talking about having Marvel fatigue with this sheer amount of Marvel movies and series coming out. That's basically how I felt when I jacked it in a few months ago. I didn't mean to, but I just thought, I don't want to do this anymore. But I will go back to it. Did you know, by the way, that The Marvels is officially now the lowest grossing MCU movie ever? Oh, that should be proof enough that people are now getting a little bit bored of this whole superhero thing. Not as it is, release you know, one or two a year, three a year, but it's like every month. As I say, you pick up any copy of Empire or Total Film or any other magazine, and it's all half of it is all Marvel stuff. And if you don't watch it, it's hardly worth buying the magazine because that's pretty much all you get with it. So Marvel fatigue, I like that. I like that a lot. Um, and by the way, you definitely should have finished on a big musical number, a bit like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Anything goes, which is very appropriate for you two as it goes. So, yeah, you should have done that. I'll look forward to that at the end of season 3, maybe. So, right, I'm coming up for another break. But first off, I put a post on last night. Um, I've set a right bomb off with this one. Jake Gyllenhaal is basically starring in a remake of the Patrick Swayze movie Roadhouse, and we had the first official poster yesterday, which looks all right. I'm not a massive Jake Gyllenhaal fan. I've only seen probably 3 movies, and I'm having to look at this to see what they are. Donnie Darko, I saw, oh God, years ago. It made absolutely no sense to me whatsoever. It's a movie that I've meant to come back to and never got round to it, but I will be taking a look at that. The Day After Tomorrow, I've seen that. That was okay. Brokeback Mountain, no surprise there. I thought that was all right, but oh, hang on, battery is low. Oh my God, no, my battery's going to run out. Just bear with me a second while I plug this thing in, because if I don't, my battery's going to go. There we go. I didn't see that one coming. Yeah, so this poster for Roadhouse. Oh, well, my notes have gone. Just about. There you go. Yeah, it looked okay, and it pulled some really interesting comments in. Jason P. I won't give it the time of day. I'm happy with Patrick Swayze's version. I do kind of have to agree with that. Dave Taylor. I have to say just now, I can't think of any remakes that are better than the original movie. True Grit was okay. Not Aliens, Dave. Not The Godfather 2. Yeah, it's rare, I'll give you that. Remakes are very rarely better or as good as the original, but you do get the occasional one. I don't think Roadhouse is going to be one of them, though. Kerry, only one person can pull this film off, and that's Patrick. Jake has nowhere near the amount of sex appeal Patrick had. Just my opinion, and a very good opinion. As I said, I replied to that one. The role just fitted him perfectly. He looked the part. He sounded the part. I can't imagine anybody else doing it. It's that syndrome again, where you can't imagine anybody else playing a role because, Swayze is so ingrained. You know what I mean. I'm trying to say something, but I don't know what it is. Dave Lowe, I like Gyllenhaal's movies, so I will give it a blast. I don't think I'd find any harm in having a go at it. I just get the feeling that all it's going to be is more graphically violent. That's pretty much all it's going to be. But I'll give it a go. I'll almost certainly give it a go. But I do enjoy the original. It's not really my kind of film, but I did watch it on a recommendation many, many years ago and thoroughly enjoyed it. So what they're going to do with this one, I don't know. Chris Locke, you can't make a classic any better. I do tend to agree with that. Lee Barber, I was fine with the idea until I found out Conor McGregor is in it. The boxer. He can't act, can he? Surely to God. Oh, okay. I'll have to look into that one. Mark, never seen the original. Oh, you're doing a Tony on that one then? Okay, fair enough, Mark. Simon Hawkes. Simon used to be my team leader. How are you doing, Simon? I'll watch it, yeah, but Roadhouse is literally like my favourite movie of all time. Nothing will ever compare. Well, this one's not going to work for you then, Si, is it? It's definitely not going to work for you. It's like somebody saying, we're going to remake Close Encounters, and I would just basically say, please don't do that. Guy, no, just no. Succinct and to the point as usual. So some varied opinions on that one. Roadhouse. My thoughts, I don't know. I will give it a go. I almost certainly will have a watch of it, but I am also 95% certain that I will not I will not think it's as good as the original. Um, but let's see, time will tell. So, right, I'm going to take another quick break and I shall be back very shortly. I've got an absolute crap load of stuff to show you that I've picked up over the last few weeks. So, we'll come on to that very shortly. Back in a minute. And we're back. Right, coming into the home stretch. Just a couple of little bits that I want to clear up on the notes here. The Cult Lords. I watched your video review of Rebel Moon. This is one that I really do want to take a look at. I've never seen a Zack Snyder movie, as far as I'm aware. I've not seen Dawn of the Dead. I've not seen Justice League or anything like that. So I'm going to be going into this completely blind. One of you liked it, one of you didn't like it. So I'll let you know which camp I fall into when I've actually taken a look at it. I think it's about 2.25 hours long, so that's going to be a morning's worth, I think. But yeah, really enjoyed your review of that, guys. What else have I got here? Gareth. Guess the movie. Michael Kamen films. I thought number 2 was A Few Good Men. Completely wrong. And the only one I got was License to. It's supposed to be License to Kill, but I've actually got here License to Lick. L-I-K-K. What went wrong there? I did get License to Kill. But the rest of it, a complete and utter failure, as per usual. Love the fast, frantic music intro, by the way. That really makes me smile. I don't know why, but it does. I enjoyed that. So, yeah, keep them coming, Gareth. Sooner or later, one will come along and I'll get sort of 7 or 8 out of 10. I did get most of the Bond ones, the very first one you did. So you kind of luring me into a false sense of security with that one. Because I got all of those, and I've not really made a dent in any of them since. But keep them coming, mate. I am enjoying them. Jason Kerr, our Ginger Ninja, really enjoyed that collection update. I mean, this is probably going back weeks now. You probably can't even remember it. But really enjoyed seeing all the new Blu-rays, etc. that you got. Bloody Bloodsport again. For fuck's sake, I can't get away from Bloodsport. It's absolutely not my kind of film, and the reason it's not my kind of film is that horrendous leg break at the end, which I've not seen and I don't want to see. I've heard all about it. So Cocaine Bear, absolutely thoroughly enjoyed it. What an absolute blast that movie was. Really, really enjoyed that. Not so keen on all the ones that have followed it. We've had a coked up Sloth. We've had a coked up Alligator. And I dare say there are more in the pipeline. But Cocaine Bear was absolutely brilliant. Poltergeist. I can't remember, was that the original or was that the remake? The remake wasn't actually that bad. It wasn't brilliant, but it wasn't that bad. But the original, complete and utter classic, 1982. Again, remember seeing that. Burnt Odeon when it came out. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Shocker. Not seen that one for ages. This is one of Wes Craven's. What I would class as probably a lesser known title. Whenever you mention Shocker, most people just look at what, I don't remember that one. So that's one that I wouldn't mind taking another look at. The Gate and the Gate 2. I didn't realise they did a sequel to it. I did enjoy the first one though. Really, really enjoyed that. What else have you got here? The Chucky Collection. I only really liked the first 3. Have I seen the others? I think I've seen Bride of Chucky, but I don't think I've seen any of the others. Maybe I need to grab this box set and take a look and see what I think. Hellraiser 1 to 3 Arrow box set. Yeah, I mean, there've been more than 3, haven't there? So I would love an Arrow box set which has basically got all of the Hellraisers in. I do remember watching the first one on VHS when it came out. That was actually in the video shop the year I worked there. It came in. I remember thinking that is nasty. That's nasty. Good film though. Let's see. I think there are 9 in all, according to my notes here, which is usually fucking wrong. But I've heard there are 9 Hellraiser movies altogether. So if they ever bring out a box set of all 9, I would almost certainly be grabbing a copy of that one. Another quick bit of news for you. Noel Cronin. Noel Cronin is the founder of Talking Pictures TV. Lovely old geezer. He's actually, there was a post went up I think it was just after Christmas. So I'm a bit late reading this one out, but it kind of got lost in the notes. I believe his daughter Sarah put this on. I'm thrilled to announce that my very dear dad, Noel Cronin, has been awarded a British Empire Medal in the King's New Year's Honours List for services to TV and broadcasting. We are, of course, all over the moon. So proud of you, Dad. Well done, Noel. Talking Pictures TV is by far the best channel on television, without a doubt. I love the TV programmes they put on there, the telly programmes, the movies are just superb. It's all rare stuff that you just don't see anywhere else, and you probably will never see anywhere else. So yeah, that award is very, very well deserved. So congratulations, Noel. What else have I got here? Just bear with me a second while I just scroll or make sure I've just missed anything. No, I don't think so. Right, a quick review. I was going to review In the Heat of the Night, but Jason, I'm going to hold off on that one until I've watched The Graduate, and then I can review both together, because it'll be kind of a double feature, that one. What I will talk about, let's see. First off, one that's on Netflix. It's called Hell Camp: Teen Nightmare. What do you do if you've got an unruly teenager, son or daughter? They're hanging out with the wrong crowd, getting involved with drink, drugs, crime, all that sort of thing. Well, if you're rich enough, you send them to one of these, what they class as a sort of a conversion therapy thing. It's a bit like a boot camp, whereas they send them out into the desert to walk for days on end in the blazing sun. They basically break their spirit and send them back new kids, kind of. I went into this thinking, I'm going to watch this and I'm probably going to agree with everything they say, because I'm not a great fan of teenagers at the best of times. And when they're being an absolute nightmare, it's just awful. So I got the feeling I was going to go into this thinking, yep, I quite agree with that. And for the first probably 15 minutes, apart from the bit where they break into their house and kidnap the kids from out of their bedroom in the middle of the night and take them to this place on their parents' request, I'm not sure I agree with that bit. But the rest of it, up until the first 15 minutes, seemed fairly reasonable. And I thought, yeah, I'll live with that. And then it took a really, really, really dark turn. I believe a young girl died on one of these walks. There was a lot of abuse going on. It was pretty horrible. And as bad as these kids are, they don't deserve what was cracking off with that. So if you're looking for a documentary that's going to probably make you feel a little bit nauseous, but a good story as such, that is one to look at. Hell Camp: Teen Nightmare. It's on Netflix. But be prepared. It's brutal, nasty stuff. It's a documentary. Well worth watching, but it's pretty hairy, pretty nasty. The other one, every now and then you get a movie that comes out that everybody's talking about. It's usually sort of a summer blockbuster or something like that. Everybody's talking about it. And occasionally I'll think, I need to take a look at this because everybody's on about it. This one is, I wouldn't say it's an unusual movie. It's called Saltburn, streaming on Prime, I believe, at the moment. It stars Barry Keoghan, stars Jacob Elordi. Is it Elordi? I think his name is. He's playing Elvis at the moment in the Sofia Coppola biopic Priscilla. I'm sure it's Jacob Elordi. Sure it is. Basically, it is about a Liverpudlian lad, a Scouse lad, who gets to go to Oxford on a scholarship. Makes friends with a posh lad who invites him back to the family home for the summer. And to tell you any more than that would be unfair on you, because I really, really want you to watch this. Now, Mark's seen this. He was not impressed one bit. This movie has gathered quite a bit of controversy along the way. Cinema screenings they had, walkouts, all that sort of thing. People saying this is a revolting film. There are 2 or 3 scenes in there that that should not have been in there, and this, that, and the other. I mean, it's depraved. It's nasty in parts. and I loved every second of it. I really did. I thought it was absolutely brilliant. Um, it's a definite Marmite movie. You're either going to love it or you're going to hate it, one or the other. But I thought it was absolutely superb, and I would urge everybody to have a look at it and decide for yourself. I'd heard about these 3 or 4 scenes that have been getting all of the attention, and believe me, as soon as they happen, you know that is what you're watching. Um, but it's just really really well done. It was directed by what's her name, Emerald Fennell, who directed a movie called Promising Young Woman a couple of years ago, which I absolutely loved. Kind of a sort of a rape revenge thriller, really really good. Um, and this is not a similar kind of thing, but it's a similar sort of style. This dog's drinking water behind his two-headed. Come on, up here. There's a good girl. So yeah, I mean, as I say, there are 3 or 4 scenes in there. At least 2 of them. You're sitting there thinking, we're not going to go there, are we? No, we are. Oh, we are going to go there. Oh, okay. Um, and there are a couple of jaw-dropping moments where your jaw literally hits the floor when you realise what is going on. And that's difficult for me nowadays because you think you've pretty much seen everything, but believe me, you've not seen anything like what goes off in Saltburn. Mark, you'll bear me out on this. Your missus loved it, but for a very good reason. I'm not going to go into it, but suffice to say, I'm not going to be able to listen to Murder on the Dance Floor ever again in the same way and not see that final scene, which I'm not going to give away. I might talk about it on the next one if you guys get a chance to watch it. Jason, I don't think it's your type of film. I think it will bore the crap out of you. But I get the feeling, if you've not seen it, Chris, I'd be curious to know what you think of it. As I say, yes, those 3 or 4 scenes are pretty gross, pretty nasty. Not violent, but not very nice. But did they need to be in there? Yeah, I don't see any reason why not. But it's not pleasant to watch. But it is just you can't take your eyes off it. It's one of those movies, and it is rare nowadays when I'll start watching it. And if I'm looking at my phone within sort of half an hour, that means I'm not really enjoying it. I didn't pick my phone up once watching Saltburn. But yeah, that final scene will take your breath away probably for all the wrong reasons, but it will do. So if you get a chance to watch Saltburn, let me know. I'd be very, very curious to know what you think of it. Right, very quickly, I've got something here that I need to show off. What it is, I was having a bit of a sort out upstairs, and you know how things get buried under other things and you unearth them and you think, oh my God, I didn't know I'd still got that. And I said at the time, I'm going to show that on the group. This beautiful thing was bought for me well over 30 years ago. This is the 50th anniversary limited collection edition of Casablanca. Comes in a case with a catch. Right, so if I undo the catch, preferably so nothing falls out. There we go. If you open it up, this is where it all comes tumbling out. You've got a VHS cassette of Casablanca, that shows how long ago it was, and also an absolutely beautiful hardback book on the history of the movie, the making of the movie, the legacy of the movie, all of that. If I just, bear with me, I knew this was going to be awkward. I'll show you this, oops, I'll show you the camera. Just have to make sure the battery don't run out this time. Here we go. So you've got, as I say, Casablanca on VHS, and I don't think this has ever been played. I don't think it's ever been played. That sits back in there. Bear with me. This was never going to go well. And then you've got this absolutely magnificent hardback book, as I say, on the quick flip through, but I don't think you'll see much of it. But you get the idea. There you go. Stills, articles, all that sort of thing. An absolutely beautiful thing. And as I say, that was bought for me, must be 30 plus years ago. and I think the other day was the first time I've seen it in decades. But how nice. Oh, just bear with me. Of course it wasn't going to go well. Why would it? Oh. Do you know what? Fuck it. We'll come back to that. Drop that down there. That, by the way, is Noel Cronin's book, Mr. Talking Pictures TV. I've just started this. It's a fascinating read. I've only got about 4 pages in, but it's a cracking book. This is his life story. He definitely lived the life as far as being in the film industry goes. So I'm looking forward to getting to grips with that, and I'll give you a proper review of that when I've actually read it. I'll put that over there. Start with magazines. This is all stuff that I've bought, by the way. Now, if I've shown any of these off before, do forgive me. They're in a bit of a jumble on the desk, and I really do need to sort this desk out. SFX. Latest issue of Total Film. Latest issue of Empire, which is obviously Ghostbusters, Frozen Empire, and all sorts of other bits in there. The latest Yours Retro, which you got articles on Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid. Carry On Sexism. Did the women actually have the upper hand? Now that's going to be an interesting article. I'm going to be quoting from that one next week, I'll bet. Articles on the Time Tunnel, Man About the House, the Oscars, 95 years of shocks and scandals. I should definitely have a read of that. The latest SFX, which I picked up this morning. And also this, which isn't even movie related, but I'll show it. History of the Wild West. I love all that. So I'll put those down there, just bear with me. Now then, to the meat of it. Blu-rays and DVDs. Starting off with Exorcist Believer. Now, Dave Oliver, Savage Zombie Reviews, you actually love this, but this has got some truly horrendous reviews. It's either going to go one of two ways with me. I'm either going to watch this and think, wow, that is really, really good, thoroughly enjoyed that, or I'm going to think, why didn't I listen to these people? This is one of those, you know, we try to tell you. But hopefully we'll be watching this Saturday night, so I'll be able to give you a proper review of that. But I don't think this can be anywhere near as bad as they're making out it is, but we shall see. It's 4K as well, so it'll look nice. Next one. Steve Mack, our Criterion guy, was talking about this on one of his videos. It's a Coen Brothers movie, one of the first ones. It's coming out on 4K in a few months. I couldn't wait. I really, really wanted to see this. Blood Simple. I know very little about it apart from what I've heard on Steve's review. It's supposed to be an excellent thriller, one of these neo-noir things. Really, really looking forward to it. This is apparently the official director's cut, including brand new special features. It's not even out of the cellophane yet, so I will be having a look at that one. Next, I was quite taken with Barry Keoghan's performance in Saltburn, which any of you that have seen it will understand why. And I thought, I want to see more of this guy, see what else he's done. And one movie that comes highly recommended is this one, The Killing of a Sacred Deer. Again, I know very, very little about this apart from the fact his performance is supposed to be absolutely superb. I believe it stars Colin Farrell as well. Just bear with me a second. It doesn't say, but I'm sure it does. Nicole Kidman, Colin Farrell, Nicole Kidman, Barry Keoghan. I will know more about this obviously when I've watched it, but it comes highly recommended by people who've seen Saltburn and said, if you want to see more of Barry Keoghan, not that you could possibly see more than you already have done on Saltburn, then this is the one to have a look at. So I'm looking forward to a look at that. We were also talking about Shane Meadows films last week. I believe Jason did some kind of a thread on them. So just to prove that I do listen to you, I've got a double bill of Shane Meadows to look forward to. Once Upon a Time in the Midlands. I've not seen any of these. I believe this is one of his very, very early movies. So again, looking forward to having a look at that. And also A Room for Romeo Brass. I have no idea why it's got a pair of blue underpants on the front, but I dare say I shall find out when I watch the movie. But this one comes highly recommended. Jason, I think you absolutely love this film. I'm about to find out why when I take a look at that one. Right, Jason K, you are going to love this. Just bear with me. First off, Phantasm. Now this is the complete collection, the Arrow collection, which I understand is probably the one that you've got. And this features all 5 movies. You've got Phantasm, Phantasm 2, which is called Phantasm 2, Phantasm 3, Lord of the Dead, Phantasm Oblivion, and Ravager. The only one I've ever seen is the first one, which I thoroughly enjoyed. I again remember seeing it at Burton Odeon. Weird as hell, really strange. Didn't understand it. Watched it again probably a year or two later on VHS. Still didn't make any sense. So I'm hoping when I watch it this time, I'll watch it and think, yeah, I get it now. But you're currently doing reviews of the Phantasm series, and like I'm following Jason on his Never Seen It thread, I'll probably follow you on this one as well, just to see what I think of them. I think you're up to number 3 at the moment. I've listened to that review on Saturday, I believe. So, yep, looking forward to getting into those. Next, just bear with me. All books. I've got some more VHS here, but this directly ties into what I've just shown off. So Jason, Mr. Ginger Ninja, you'll love this. This is the book I was talking about, Phantasm Exhumed. It's basically the history of the movie, the making of it, the legacy, everything. And it's a cracking book. It's got some superb reviews on Amazon. Couldn't resist that one. And then, even though I've not yet seen the movie, Phantasm Further Exhumed. And this is the story of Ravager, just Ravager, which is the 5th movie. And again, I'll just have a quick flick through. You can't really see, I don't know why I do this, because you can't really see it, but I get the feeling that you will get a real kick out of these. These are on Amazon. I believe these cost about 12 or 13 pounds each. Well worth it. Well worth it. Back to DVDs. Now then, I was listening to, while I was working last week, the soundtrack to The Jazz Singer, the 1980 Neil Diamond movie, which I loved. Absolutely adored the film. Loved the film. Loved the soundtrack. I was listening to it and found myself thinking, I've never actually seen the original Jazz Singer. So there we go. Al Jolson. This is not everybody's cup of tea, I'm sure. I've listened to the soundtrack of this and I love it, but it absolutely is not everybody's cup of tea. But I'm really looking forward to watching this. This was the first ever talking picture, let's see, made in 1927. So this is an early movie, really, really early. So I'm looking forward to getting to grips with that, just to basically see what all the fuss was about. So yeah, looking forward to that one. And this was on the same page, so I thought, you know, I don't know anything about Al Jolson. I'm going to watch that movie. I'm going to think immediately I want to know more about Jolson. So I got hold of this. Now, these were very popular in the 50s, I believe, when they were made. Stars Larry Parks as Al Jolson in 2 movies, The Jolson Story and Jolson Sings Again. I've not seen either of these. I had a mate years and years ago whose dad was obsessed with Jolson, everything Jolson. He could even sing like him. He was amazing. And he introduced me to this, and I never actually followed it through and bought them, but now I have got them. And finally, now then, this is an absolute behemoth of a book. Again, I was listening to a podcast in London in the late 70s, early 80s. There was a cinema called the Scala, and the Scala used to screen cult movies, old movies, movies that were not granted certificates by the BBFC, so they were uncertified. So there were a lot of movies that you could see there that you would not see anywhere else. They would not be released on DVD or Blu-ray or anything like that. And the Scala was an underground cinema, a very small one that used to screen these movies. It was From what I've read and what I've heard of it, it was the Studio 54 of cinemas, that kind of thing. And I've been looking for a book ever since about the Scala, and the one that basically kept coming up was one called Scala by Jane Giles. Now this is an absolutely huge book. It's over 400 pages. This cost me £82, including postage. It took me forever to find. It is so rare. I think when it was originally published in 2018, it was 40 something pounds. So this to me was a real bargain. But just look at the size of this. I can barely pick this up. Just bear with me. Look at that. And this is everything that you could ever wish to know about the Scala. I'll try and find a couple of pages, just bear with me, and I'll hold it up rather than flicking through it. There is so much in here. I mean, just as an example. Oh God, camera. I will do a proper flick through video of this if I can. Just bear with me. Oh God. The programme of a particular week, all the movies that they were screening. It's the history of the cinema. Everything to do with the Scala is in there. This is probably book-wise my proudest possession nowadays. This is going to be displayed back there. But I will do, if I can, a proper flick through video where I'm actually over the book so you can actually see what's in it. And if you want to know more about the Scala cinema, this has just been released. And it's called Scala, ! This, again, is the history of the Scala cinema. It distills down exactly what this place was all about. I'm really looking forward to watching this. This is one of my most anticipated sort of Blu-rays of the year so far. Kermode watched this and thought he described it as an absolute joy. He's been there quite a few times in his younger days. The stories that he tells about a movie called Thundercrack. He basically said that they screened a movie called Thundercrack, and everybody sat there thinking, we are going to be arrested any time. It can't be legal to be watching this. So I will let you know what this is like when I've actually watched it, but I'm so looking forward to seeing this. And that book, what can I even say? 80 quid, but I tell you what, from what I've seen of it, and I've not flipped through it properly yet, it is worth every single penny. I do remember looking at it and seeing the price and thinking, oh God, that's a bit steep. And then I looked at how much it was when it was first published, and I thought, do you know what, that's not bad. And there was a picture, I wasn't ready for how big the thing was or how thick it was. It weighs a ton. So right, I'm coming up to 30 minutes. I don't think I've done too bad today, considering. Thanks ever so much for joining me, folks. And if I haven't said it enough already, thank you so much to everybody that sent me supportive messages this week. It has meant so much, and you guys have made a very difficult time just that little bit easier. And I will always be grateful to you for that. I love you all, I really do. So thank you so much for joining me. If you've enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, share, and all that sort of thing. With a bit of luck, I'll be back with you at the same time next week. If you've got any questions or anything that you want to answer me, just drop them in the comments, because it gives me something to talk about. And that's pretty much it. So have a brilliant weekend, folks. It's been brilliant getting back into this again. I really didn't think I'd be up for doing this, considering the week it's been. But I honestly think this has done me the world of good. So I'm quite pleased with that. And I'm sure my mum's looking down on me saying, attaboy, that's the way to do it. Thanks ever so much, guys. Take care, and I will see you all again, God willing, next week. Take care. Ta-da.